what to do when the fear shows up. Have you ever noticed that, especially during those moments when the stakes are high, or when you're about to do something that is really important to you, or you would like to nail it, or you would like to do a really good job, and then all of a sudden, especially during those instances, the fear shows up. And it's not just any kind of fear, but of course it's the kind of fear that tries to convince you, tease you, and taunt you how you're gonna fail, and how you're gonna look stupid, and how it's not gonna go well, and how you're not ready yet, and you're not prepared yet, and all those other ways the fear tries to knock you back, right? Now, in this video, I'd like to share with you what it is that you can actually do to, for once and for all, be free of this, what some people might call irrational fear. Now, so many people have been told and taught that feel the fear and do it anyway, or worse, fake it till you make it. I don't recommend that at all, because when you show up in a state of fear and you push yourself through it, yeah, you might kind of muddle somehow your way through it, but you're also not going to feel as empowered, as strong, as composed, and as calm as you deserve to feel. Because think about it. The stakes are high. You want to do a really good job. You've worked so hard to get to where you are, only to now be faced with this fear that is trying to talk you out of, basically telling you you're not good enough or something like that. Now, again, the advice of feel the fear, do it anyway, really old, outdated advice. Your nervous system does not like it, and that's why it's really bad advice. Or fake it till you make it, because you're not here to fake anything. You're here to be an authentic human being that is doing the best they can with what they have. So if you have not been given the right tools on how to navigate through this, how could you possibly nail it? Okay, first, let's go to the beginning, because now we need to actually help you understand this fear, okay, is not your fault. It's not a lack of self-confidence. Let me repeat that. This is important. This is not a lack of self-confidence, okay? This is not a lack of courage. This is not a personality flaw. This is not you being shy. I promise you. This is not you being... So many people, unfortunately, judge themselves, blame themselves in a completely wrong way, not understanding that there is some programming that is controlling you, subconscious programming. Most, like I mean 98% of our behaviors, our thoughts, our actions, our responses, our reactions, our personality, if you want to call it that, is controlled by our subconscious. And until we understand what is the program, as a hypnotherapist, I like to understand our behavior as programs. They're running on autopilot, okay? And until we go into the subconscious and we help you understand what specifically is the program, which in this case is fear, but we need to understand what specifically is this fear about. What is the root cause of that fear? And this is why therapy for a lot of people doesn't work, because we can't just talk our way out of this problem and expect that things are going to change. We need to go to the source, the root of the problem, which is in your subconscious. In other words, we need to look under the hood, because all those traditional therapies and coaching and self-help books and sound really good and well-meaning, except they work with the mind. They speak to the mind, which is good, which is a good start, which sounds great, except it's very incomplete, because hypnotherapy works with the part that controls your mind, and that's your subconscious. And all of us, okay, every single human being, we all have been programmed, not by ourselves, by other people. That's where the problem begins. Number two, most, like I said, of our life, what we do, how we do it, how we say, what we speak, runs on autopilot. This is why so many people are like, man, I shouldn't have eaten that. Man, I could have done a better job. Man, why did I say that? Yeah, in hindsight, It's easy to judge and blame yourself, but if you don't understand that it's not even you who made that decision, that's the program that is running the show. And as a hypnotherapist, okay, I specialize in helping people solve lifetime problems in hours because we go right to the source. This fear, by the way, that you're experiencing, this doubt, this lack of security in yourself, this low self-esteem, this has nothing to do with who you really are as a person. It has all to do with the programming, which, by the way, was installed when you were very, 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 very young. And because we all grew up, for the most part, in a very heavily negativity biased society, on top of it, if you grew up with parents who maybe were perfectionists, or they corrected you a lot, or nothing you did was ever good enough, or maybe, God forbid, if you got the bad grade, and I mean a B, okay, and you didn't get the A, immediately you got shut down, or something like, and this could come from many different sources, obviously, and many different memories. But if as a child you experienced a lot of criticism, where maybe people called you that you were too emotional, or you were not enough, or you were always wrong, or maybe you had an older sibling that bullied you, or maybe you had parents where you had to tiptoe around. In other words, your nervous system, you learned at some point in your life that you're not good enough. And now as an adult, you feel like you constantly have to prove yourself, or you constantly feel like, oh my God, I'm not ready yet. I can't do that. Who do I think I am? This is going to be too much. It's going to be too hard. What if I fail? And so your brain, your nervous system, your body and mind are locked in this negativity, this scarcity, not because you're making it happen, because your body, mind run on autopilot. And this is why I remind people, not that therapy is good or bad, it's just very incomplete. Because again, it's fine to talk to the mind and talk about our problems, except if nothing ever changes, that approach is very incomplete. We need to work with the part that controls your mind, which is your subconscious. We have a conscious, which is the logic of you, which, by the way, only controls about 3 to 5% of who you are and your life. And then we have the subconscious, which controls about 95 to 98% of your life, of you as a human being. This is why when it comes to changing habits, changing fears, changing self-sabotage, procrastination, lack of motivation, this is something you can change easily and effortlessly and within a short time when you understand how you as a human being works. So this fear that you're experiencing, that may be showing up at the worst time when you least need it, number one, understand this, even though it's irrational, this is a program that is running. That program is made up of beliefs, of thoughts, of emotions, of ideas, of conclusions, of opinions that you have made a long, long time ago. And that opinion might sound something like, hey, if you put yourself out there, you're going to get rejected, or people not going to like you, or there's going to be a lot of negative criticism left on your page. Well, if that's what I fundamentally believe, of course I'm not going to put myself out there. I'm going to have fear. So we got to change the program so that your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, your self-confidence, your actions can match your real intention. So that, for example, if and when it is time for you to put yourself out there, you can do it as your best self. Most confident, most competent, most grounded, centered, calm, inner peace, kind of it's go time, show time, no problem kind of an attitude. And that is something we can help you with in a short time. There is no need for you to read all kinds of, self-help books. That information sounds really good, but knowledge typically doesn't change people. Action changes people. Application changes people. And if nobody ever taught you how to apply this, how to change your subconscious programming, it's going to be an uphill battle. So again, please don't blame yourself. Don't shame yourself. This is technically not your fault, But I understand if this is your problem, realize as of now, all the stuff that we need is still in your subconscious. That simply means not in your conscious awareness yet. And as Carl Jung said, until you make conscious what's in your subconscious, it will control your life. But then we human beings will often blame it. Oh, it's because of my parents. It's because of my past. It's because of my bad luck. It's because of my personality. It's because of my boss. It's because of my economy. No, it's not. No, it is not. Because if we blame everything outside of us, that means I'm giving my power away. And you do have a lot of power. This is something you can change easily, naturally, effortlessly. This is what we do here. So if you feel like fear has been holding you back from being your best self, let's have a conversation, because this is something we can change in a short time. I'll see you next time.